Jiggy Jaguar to be exact. The hottest internet radio show on the map. Hold on to your seats, it might get scary. Shout out to Big Ross and the homie Ninja Larry. It's a comical grab bag, you never know what you get. Everything from rappers, street fighters, and misfits. The show is not staged, man, it's as real as it gets. He's even had porn stars flashing tits and beers clips. All of this and more shit you might catch your moms on an episode of JiggyJaguar.com. 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 www.jiggyjaguar.com.
Yes, indeed. It is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. We are live coast to coast, border to border on iHeartRadio today. And we have got a great guest that we are going to go to here in just a few moments. I've got to move things around. I've got to make all sorts of weird stuff happen here because we're doing a call on Facebook Messenger. So we are going to call our guest on Facebook Messenger. So this is always a sticky situation, technology-wise. But we are going to see if we can get our guest in here. And there he is, the biggest star in the business. Don't believe him, just ask him, he'll tell you. We have got Curt Gannon with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast. And we are just pleased as punch to have him on with us today. He is fantastic. And so, Curt, tell me a little bit about how you got started in the pro wrestling business, because you have quite the little story, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for me on.
Yeah.
So to kind of get things started, like, with how I got into it was when I was 18, I actually, well, I guess you could go say got a little further back than that. I got hooked on wrestling when I was a kid. I was about 9 years old. I was really big on Sting. Snowballed from there. As soon as I seen Sting, I wanted to be a pro wrestler. So snowballed from there until got about 18 years old, until I got introduced to the guys that ran the XWC in Raytown, Missouri. I started doing some stuff with them. Trained with them for a little while, and then after that, I moved over to Trevor Murdoch's school when he had his school from Lenexa, Kansas.
That's awesome.
Trained with Trevor for a while, and then after Trevor ended up closing down the school, I started training with Derek Stone, who is one of the
another awesome guy. Yep.
Yeah, he was also one of the original head trainers for Harley Race's school. So that's kind of my little training, getting into it, and really get going story. So
okay, well that explains a heck of a lot. If you're training with Derek Stone, that's why you are just as strong as a brick shed house, my friend. Because I have seen you on the Hoisington shows and some of these other places that I've seen you work, and just the fact that you're able to get these guys up like you are, and granted, we all understand it's professional wrestling, so there's a little bit of help, but good God, some of the guys that you're throwing around in there, brother, it is something else.
Yeah. I think naturally too, I just, my family, that's kind of like a strength thing. It's just kind of a freak of nature thing. Like, all the guys in my family are pretty strong. So, and then obviously adding working out on top of that helps a lot. So, but yeah. And it's fun. You're sitting there throwing around these big guys and you get that big pop from the crowd. 'Cause, people are like, holy crap, like, how do you do that? So,
yeah. So what form of Sting got you into the business? Was it the Crow Sting, the Surfer Sting? WCW screwed him up in 1990 Sting? What version of Sting?
Well, I started watching when I was 9, which was during the NWO versus the Crow.
That's awesome. Yep.
I was I, I got introduced to horror movies when I was a lot younger. You know, my parents let me watch it, you know, and all that good stuff, and covered my eyes during the bad parts, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
anyway,
yeah.
I was really big on The Crow, like growing up, and my brother got with me one day. Was like, "Hey man," he said, "you should check out Sting. He's doing like this new Crow gimmick on wrestling, coming in just beating the crap out of everybody." So checked it out, and the rest is history.
That's great. We have got Curt Gannon with us today. Curt is going to be part of a huge show in Wichita, Kansas on February 27th. He is going to be on World Class Pro Wrestling's Clash at the Cotillion #6. Ironically, it's called This Is Sting. And so you have traveled all over the country to wrestle. What has been some of the different reactions that you've gotten from the crowd? And because when they see you walk in, you're like a little fire plug, brother, and then you get in there and you're picking these guys up and throwing them all over the place. You pull it off. This is one of the things I like about just your wrestling in general, is that you look like a pro wrestler. There are so many guys that I have seen, especially locally, here in Kansas, that they don't look like pro wrestlers, but they sure as hell want to be pro wrestlers. And with you look the part, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I definitely try to put in the work, and because I'm a firm believer and if you're gonna be out there doing pro wrestling, you need to look like any other type of like combat, like professional. You don't have to be jacked to the gills, but you need to look athletic. Like you can be a smaller guy and be toned up, or a smaller girl and be toned up or something. But I mean, I'm just very big on that. And but I definitely try to put in a lot of work, and I'm usually at the gym 5 days a week, and I do martial arts, so I'm training that 2 to 3 times a week, and
that's great.
Definitely.
So when you first started doing pro wrestling, did you always want to be a power guy, or did you come into that? Because I've been around a lot of you guys, and sometimes what you start out in wrestling and what you end up being in wrestling are two completely different things.
Yeah, definitely complete opposite what I started at. I'm 250 pounds now. When I started when I was 18, I was 190 pounds. I used to do a lot of high flying stuff. I used to do springboards, moonsaults, all the get up top and do all the crazy stuff and do the super indie spot stuff all over the place, flippy and everything. Somewhere along the line, I was like, this just isn't working for me. I'm like, I want to do something different. And so I just started throwing people.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, I had a big influence to do, for a first started. I was really big on Christian and AJ Styles and stuff like that. So I kind of mimicked my style after them. I think a big shock was one day, actually, I was just talking to my girlfriend about this because we were watching wrestling. I was like, I used to be able to do those, talking about moonsaults. But one day I was at training and I went to go do a moonsault, and my ankle clipped. Somehow I went sideways.
Oh no.
Instead of going straight out, I went towards the ropes, and my ankle clipped the top rope, and I almost landed on my head.
Holy smokes.
And after that, I was like, nope, no more flips.
No more flips, brother. Wow. Well, I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of these big guys like Brian Cage and some of these guys that are doing all the flips and all the stuff, and I just always get a little scared because I'm like, they're a huge guy flying around, and you could end up doing something to your ankle or your neck or whatever the hell. So I think it was smart that you went with, what has worked for you. I think that's great.
Yeah. I know some of the, I got some friends that are pretty big guys that, like to do a little bit of, flippy stuff here and there, and, more power to them if that's what they want to do. But I'm just like, I feel like you can still get over very well without having to do that
Yes.
stuff if you're a bigger guy.
Yep.
Like Brian Cage, like amazing athlete, but I feel like he doesn't have to if he didn't want to do all those flippy stuff, because he's a beast.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's I guess it's just different now, I guess, because all these big guys want to try to do the stuff just to show they can, but at the same time, I remember Big Show saying in an interview one time that just because I can do it doesn't mean I should.
Yes. Yes, very much so. We have got a great guest with us today. Curt Gannon joins us here on our broadcast, and he is going to be part of Clash at the Cotillion #6. It is this is Sting. It's going to be at the Cotillion Ballroom in Wichita, Kansas. This is going to be a tremendous event, February 27th. And when you got the call that you were going to be on this show, what did you think, man?
I was psyched. I mean, I've worked for Jerry before. I enjoy working for Jerry Bostic.
Yeah.
Jerry's a great guy, and he always puts on good shows. But yeah, I was psyched. I mean, the little kid in me is like jumping around because I'm like, oh man, I get to
meet the Stinger. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm always pretty professional when I got to work on big names. Work with big name stuff, and which I will be as well. With Sting. But But like I said, on the inside, there's a little kid jumping around going, holy crap.
I know. Well, I got to interview Demolition at a World Wrestling Express show a couple years ago, and after I do interviews, I always get a photo with everybody. And I asked them after the interview, I said, hey, can we get a photo? And they both stand up, and everybody in that locker room starts calling me a mark and all this other stuff. And Demolition Smash cut everybody off. And Barry Dorso looked at those guys and he goes, hey, when is he ever going to meet us ever again? He's like, if he wants a photo, who gives a shit? And then like clockwork, and of course you know what I'm getting ready to say, like clockwork, all the boys jump up. And they immediately are like, hey man, can I get a photo with you guys too? So it's, I one of the things I've always liked about pro wrestling is that, especially like guys like you got into pro wrestling by watching a lot of these guys. So they're not, they don't care if you want a photo with them or shake their hand or whatever. But I think that's cool that you're going to be on this show. So you've got this, and then you also wrestle for AWR. You're the current AWR champion. One of the things that I noticed that they put out, I don't know, probably a day or two after you had won the belt out there, that you were going to start doing open challenges at some of these shows. I think that is the coolest idea because it's one of those things that you never know who's going to come out. And a lot of times it's guys that aren't regular guys on the roster. What do you think of that part of it as far as pro wrestling with the open challenges and things like that?
It was something that I thought would be really cool. So I'm like, man, I'm just going to throw it out there, and because it's, like you said, it's going to keep things fresh. You never know who could come in and step up and take the challenge for it. And, we made it clear that, I made it clear that it needs to be, it doesn't have to be anybody in the locker room. It can be anybody outside the locker room. So anybody wants to hit up, they hit them up over at AWR and say, hey, I want a shot. And, they want to book it, then let's do it. We got some ones coming up, a lot of people that keep coming in, coming out. And, like in the next show, we're going to, I believe, it's Congo Kong is coming in.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that on the poster.
I tell him if Congo wants a shot, man, I'm okay. Like I love throwing those
I
big
think
guys,
that
man.
would be fantastic. You and him would be great because I met him at one of the Hoisington shows fairly recently, and he's such a cool guy backstage, and he's like a lot of you guys. He just wants to do pro wrestling, have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It there's a lot of these guys that take themselves way too seriously. And I'm sure you have bumped into a bunch of these guys in various locker rooms around the country. I just always find it so strange because I'm like, guys, we're all here because we're all wrestling fans.
Man, it's sometimes it's just an ego thing, and it's there's a lot of egos in the locker room, man. It's you could be the most respectful person and still somebody's not gonna like you. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of testosterone, a lot of egos. Like it's well, even some of the women, some of the women they all get egos a little bit too. So yeah, so it goes both ways, but yeah, it can be kind of crazy on how people kind of are. So.
Well, Curt Gannon joins us today here in our program. He's going to be part of a big show on February 27th at the Cotillion Ballroom. World Class Pro Wrestling is bringing Clash at the Cotillion #6. This is Sting, and this is just a tremendous show. You've got a little bit of everybody from all over the state of Kansas and Missouri and Oklahoma. And I guess as we kind of wrap up here with you, my friend, take me through kind of some of what you do as far as your workout, because I see a lot of, you post some photos and videos every once in a while online. Are you training like a bodybuilder with the high reps and the low sets, or are you doing more of a strength workout? How does your workout look?
So usually how I train is I do what I call pyramids. So I start with a higher rep, and as I'm going down in reps, I start increasing the weight. It helps with the building size and lean mass, and it helps with the building strength as well. But I'll usually start at maybe about 12 and go down to work my way down to about 8 to 6 on the last rep.
Awesome.
Or excuse me, the last set. So that's usually how I do it. And I kind of split up my muscle workouts. I go to school for personal training and stuff too on the side besides doing wrestling. So I have a whole routine on how I got it set out. So when I go to the gym, I get it all done there. Try to get some cardio stuff in when I can. Obviously, because that's important with wrestling.
Oh yeah.
And then like I said, in the evenings, some evenings too, I do the martial arts training. So that actually helps with the cardio as well.
That's awesome. Well, Curt, you have been a pleasure, my friend. This has been fun, and I look forward to chatting with you again. Good luck at the February 27th show for World Class down there at the Cotillion. And thanks for taking some time out of your busy Sunday, brother, and chatting with us today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, brother. I look forward to chatting with you soon. Have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you, man.
Yeah, you too.
Appreciate it, brother.
Bye.
There he goes. That is Curt Gannon, and he is fantastic. He is going to be part of this big show at the Cotillion in Wichita, Kansas, coming up. I think it's next weekend, actually, February 27th. And we look forward to chatting with Curt more here on our big program, and we are going to take a timeout. When we come back, we have got more coming up. It is your Sunday radio show back here in a few moments.
The top feels so much better than the bottom.